Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Risk Media. Thank you for being here today. Today, we're going to look at the situation today, how it was within Kenya. Bearing in mind, today was Saba Saba Day. So, what is Saba Saba Day? So, actually, Saba Saba Day, it's all about marking the pro-democracy protest that led to multi-party politics in Kenya. So, what was the theme for this year? So actually, the theme for this year was just was about parliamentary interventions on extrajudicial killings, investigation and action on enforcement disappearance, then investigation and action on enforced disappearance, respect for human rights and constitutional freedom. Then another demand was justice, accountability, and good governance. So that was the demand for this year Saba Saba Day. So today being Saba Saba Day, so how it was, because all those years we've seen Saba Saba Day whereby all major towns in Kenya, all major cities, people participated in these peaceful demonstrations marking Kenyans milestone in pro-democracy politics. So multipartyism politics and actually just demanding for good governance and accountability. So how did we fare this year? So this year, actually, I will say that from early in the morning today, we've seen that police were strategically positioned in major towns, in major roads leading to the cities. So like in Nairobi, we had roadblocks within Thika Road, along Thika Road, along Mombasa Road, along Gong Road. So just strategically vetting and being positioning themselves in a position whereby they can be able to combat any demonstration that were being organized. So how the CBD in Kenya, because CBD is known to be the area whereby mostly the activities plan and to strategize before they start any of these demos. So in Nairobi CBD, most of the businesses today remained closed, completely closed, most of them. Then we had police officers who were patrolling within the CBD. So Jivanji area, it was actually occupied with the police officers that were patrolling. So there were no any people, no any activities, no gatherings that took place. Along Parliament Road, again, we also had roadblocks. Police prevented any movements within that road. So we just had several protesters within the CBD who tried to protest, but some of them were arrested. So we did not see mostly the way the previous years we've seen organized and huge crowds of protesters marching within the CBD. Mombasa, we had just a bunch of, that was at around 11:00 hours. We just had a small handful of protesters just to mark the Saba Saba, and it was actually very, very, very peaceful. Nakuru CBD, there were also several protesters who staged protest. That was at around 13:00 hours, but most relatively the entire area of Nakuru remained calm. Kisumu, in other previous years, we've seen Nakuru leading and Nairobi when it comes to this demonstration. It was relatively calm with people, going on with their normal businesses without minding whether it's Saba Saba or not. So we did not see any of protests within this area. Going back to Nairobi, we also had along Jogoo Road where several protesters were also arrested. That was at around 12:00 hours. Then Arambe Avenue Road, we also had several individuals who were demonstrating. They were also arrested for unauthorized demonstration. That was around 12:40. So Githurai 45, again Thika Road, it was relatively very calm. People were just going on with their normal businesses, but we had heavy there was a heavy presence of police officers within that area. just to see and to monitor activities and to be on standby to respond to any protesters and demonstration that were to occur. So generally today it was very calm, so we did not see any major demonstration, any casualties or any police combating some of these protesters. So it was relatively very calm, and people were just going on with their normal business, the normal business as usual. So internationally, we also had another new security matter that we also received, that multiple explosions, devices exploded. That is actually detonated near the Damascus Hotel, which was actually hosting French president, that is Macron. And according to the Reuters, is that no casualty has been reported. So no casualties have been reported so far, and so Syrian security forces are assessing the situation, and they'll be able to report and on any development on that. So generally, as we close the business today, in Kenya, most of the region remained peaceful, and as we commemorate Saba Saba Day, we did not receive any news on casualties or any anomalies that occurs within Nairobi and major cities. So keep it here, Risk Media. I will keep you posted, especially as we head into political season. You know, here is all about politics and security. We assess the situation and we give you advice accordingly. Thank you so much, and keep it here, Risk Media. See you next time.